disastrous traps. Dattatreya says, a person who is unable to see the path of the deities, or the heavenly bodies like Dhruva, Shukra, Venus, Soma, Moon, or his own shadow or goddess Arundhati, must understand that his death is near. For those people to whom the sun appears without radiance but fire appears as the sun, die within 11 months. Sighting of gold and silver in urine or stools signifies death within 10 months. Those who see ghosts, Gandharvas and gold tree in the dreams live for 9 months only. Those who become fat or thin suddenly live for 8 months more. Those yogis whose heels appear cracked while walking on sand or mud die within 7 months. Getting perched on the body by volatile birds like vulture, pigeon, owl, crow, etc. indicates that the concerned person will live for only 6 months. Those who see their shadow in opposite direction live for 4 or 5 months more only. Those who sight lightning without clouds or rainbow during the night time, in their dream live for 2 or 3 months more. Those who cannot see their reflection in ghee, oil, water and mirror die within a month. A person whose body smells like a cadaver die within 15 days. Those whose hands and feet remain dry even after taking bath and dry even after taking light refreshments live only for 10 days. Those who sight hair, cinders, ash, snakes and dried rivers in the dream, die on the 11th day. Those who feel hungry even after eating to their full also die soon. O King! There are many more disastrous symptoms that indicate death. A yogi must always be alert regarding these signs. Whenever a yogi perceives the appearance of all or some of these disastrous symptoms, he must at once take to yoga to minimize the effects. Brahmajan, a yogi experiences extreme joy when he meditates while doing yoga. Only then can he experience Brahma. Physical body is ephemeral, hence a true yogi does not mourn over the loss of physical body. Hence, a yogi must train his mind in yoga ignoring sorrow or affection. This is indeed a difficult task to achieve. Alaka says, O Brahmin, by your blessings, my ignorance has ended. Now I will do everything so that ignorance does not grip me once again. Then taking Dattatreya's permission, Alaka went back to the king of Kashi and said, O king, you have a desire for the kingdom, so take this kingdom and enjoy its luxuries yourself or give it to Subahu. The king of Kashi asked Alaka as to why he was renouncing the kingdom without fighting a war. He also tried to instigate Alaka by saying that his conduct did not suit the Kshatriyas. Alaka said, only Brahma is truth, all the other things are false. Now controlling my senses, I will attain perfection in yoga. Alaka masters yoga and penance of Jada. And his father. Words of Alaka pleased the king of Kashi. Even, Subahu got up gladly and after embracing Alaka said to the king of Kashi, O king, I had taken your refuge to win the kingdom. Now, I have got it without fighting a war and without a drop of blood being shed. But, I am leaving now. Renouncing everything. The king of Kashi said, Subahu, why had you taken refuge in me? What have you received now? Subahu said, O king, my younger brother Alaka had been so far indulging in luxuries despite having metaphysical knowledge. He was in fact experiencing miseries in his household. When the miseries cross all limits, only then renunciation arises in the mind, as is the case with Alaka. That was why I had taken your refuge. My job is finished now. So I am leaving to attain perfection in yoga. O king, I regard those people who ignore their near and dear ones in their miseries as heartless. Such people are degraded from their position of dharma, artha, karma and moksha and are criticized everywhere. The king of Kashi said, O Subahu, You have saved your brother Alaka. Now kindly save me also. Subayu said, attainment of Dharma, Artha, Karma and Moksha are the four major objectives for the attainment of which humans have been created. You have already attained Dharma, Artha, and Karma. Only Moksha remains to be attained now. It is mine, it is me etc. are expressions of ego. Guarding the self from these thoughts is the true knowledge. A man must know what is to be known. Who is to know? And who is he? A knowledge of these automatically leads to the knowledge of all. Saying these words, Subayu left the palace. The king of Kashi too returned to his kingdom. Alaka crowned his elder son as the new king and he began to practice yoga in a forest. After many years of rigorous practice, Alaka attained salvation and his abode in Brahma Loka. The Brahman's son said, "O father, now you too must take refuge in yoga in order to attain Brahma. I too will try to attain salvation." The birds say, "O Brahmin." Thus the father and son began their penance and attained salvation. The universe and Lord Brahma's manifestation. The origin of the universe. Jaimini thanked the birds for enlightening him with self-knowledge. But he was still not satisfied. There were many questions to which he had no answers. He asked the birds, "How did this universe come into being? What will happen to it during the time of final annihilation? How did the deities, the sages, the ancestors and the living creatures originate? How did the Manvantaras arrive? I am anxious to know about all these things." The birds replied, "O Jaimini, we salute the same Jagannath who creates in the form of Lord Brahma, nurtures the world as Lord Vishnu and ultimately annihilates the world as Lord Shiva in his most terrifying form. We will now reveal the knowledge which was once narrated by sage Markandeya." The birds then narrated the following tale as was originally told by sage Markandeya. In the beginning of creation, as soon as Lord Brahma manifested himself, all the 4 Vedas and 18 Puranas came out from his 4 mouths. Lord Brahma then created the Saptarishis merely by wishing, who took all the Vedas and Puranas in their possession. Later on, sage Kayavan got the Puranas from one of the Saptarishis, sage Pragu, and read out its contents to the assembled sages. The sages then retold the Puranas to Daksha. Daksha narrated the contents of the Puranas to me, Markandeya. The virtues of listening to Puranas are capable of destroying all sins of a man. Now I am going to reveal to you that secret knowledge of Purana as was told to me by Daksha. Brahma, the cause and effect of everything, pervades the universe even after the final annihilation. All the 3 gunas are present in him. When the time is appropriate for commencing the process of creation, the whole atmosphere is covered by the great element Mahatattva, which itself comprises of the 3 basic gunas, sattva, pure, rajas, semi-pure, and tamas, dark. Ego manifests itself from the great element, Mahatattva. Even the ego remains covered by the great element. The ego then creates Shabda Tanmatra, subtle forms of matter related with sound. The sky, which symbolizes the Shabda, sound, is created from this very Shabda Tanmatra. The ego then covers the whole sky. After that Sparsh Tanmatra, subtle forms of matter related with touch, comes into being. Air, which signifies the quality of touch, then comes into being. After the creation of air, light is created without which the forms and appearance cannot be perceived. The deformity of life results into the creation of Rasa Matra. From this very Rasa Matra, water comes into being. The water is enveloped by the Rup Matra, subtle forms of appearance. The water then gets deformed and as a result Gandha Matra comes into being, from which the earth is created. All the worlds are established in this earth. First of all, the gunas enter into the atoms and create the 7 basic elements which are a must for procreation. The 7 basic elements then establish themselves in Purusha and Prakriti. The union of Purusha and Prakriti results into the creation of egg. This egg keeps expanding in its size while being in water. Lord Brahma, who is also known as Kshatriya and who is also the creator of all the souls, dwells in that egg. The same Brahma pervades all the 3 worlds. All the creatures of the world, including the deities, demons and human beings, along with islands, mountains, oceans, air and sky etc., are present inside the egg. The Mother Nature along with the great element covers this egg. This way, the 7 natural coverings envelop the egg. Beyond the Prakriti, nature, is established the Purusha, Almighty. Now I am going to reveal the identity of Brahma to you. Just as drops of water fall down from the body of a wet man immersed in water, in the same way, Lord Brahma too discards off the egg in the end. The nature is nothing else but Kshatra, space, area, and Brahma is also known as Kshatriya. This way, the whole creation came into being just like lightning. Lord Brahma's lifespan. Kraustuki said, "Tell me, O Lord, how were the living beings created as the period of final annihilation was approaching its end?" Markandeya replied, "When the nature establishes herself in the soul of the Purusha, Supreme Almighty, all the created matter gets annihilated. Prakriti and Purusha are established in the mode of parallelism. During that period, Sattva and Tamas become neutrally balanced. Even the quality of Rajas establishes itself within the qualities of Sattva and Tamas. The lifespan of Brahma consists of Dwaparadika. The day and night of Brahma are of equal duration. Brahma is the origin of this universe. He is the inconceivable soul, the Supreme Lord and the cause of all the events. He is beyond the reach of activities. He enters into Prakriti and Purusha, excites both of them to get unified. When Prakriti gets excited, the Supreme Lord manifests himself in the egg as Brahma. He then commences his creation. The same Brahma attains the form of Vishnu due to the effect of his Sattva Guna and nurtures the whole creation. Under the influence of Tamas Guna, he attains the form of Rudra and finally annihilates the whole creation. He then goes into hibernation. This way, the same Almighty God in his 3 different forms of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh performs his duties of creation, nurturing and annihilation respectively. The lifespan of Brahma consists of 100 years. The division of time is as follows: 1 Kashtha consists of 15 Nimshas. 1 Kala consists of 30 Kashthas, whereas 30 Kalas make 1 Muhurta. 1 day and night of this material world consists of 30 Muhurtas. 30 days and nights are equivalent to 1 month or 2 fortnights, Pakshas. 6 months make 1 aeon. 2 aeons make a year. A day and night of the deities are equivalent to 1 year of this material world. Similarly 12,000 years of the deities make the 4 yugas. Satya Yuga consists of the 4,000 years of the deities. Treta Yuga consists of 3,000 years of the deities. Dwapar Yuga consists of 2,000 years of the deities, whereas Kali Yuga consists of 1,000 years of the deities. Similarly Sandhya, evening, period of Satya Yuga consists of 400 years, and Sandhyansh, part of evening, consists of the same period, that is 400 years. Thus the total number of years that Satya Yuga has come up to 4,000 plus 400 plus 400 equals 4,800 years. In the same way, the Sandhya and Sandhyansh of Treta Yuga consist of 300 years each. Thus, The total number of years in Treta Yuga comes up to 3000 plus 300 plus 300 equals 3600 years. Sandhya and Sandhyansh period of Dwapar Yuga is of 200 years each. Thus the total number of years in Dwapar Yuga comes up to 2000 plus 200 equals 2400 years. Sandhya and Sandhyansh period of Kali Yuga are of 100 years each. Thus the total number of years in Kali Yuga comes up to 1000 plus 100 equals 1200 years. A day of Brahma consists of 1000 times of the 12,000 years of the deities. 14 manas appear in succession during the whole day of Brahma. Each Manavantar comprises of a Manu and his progenies, Indra and the other deities, Saptarashis Ganas and Nrupati Ganas etc. A Manavantar consists of 71 Chattara Yugas. On the basis of the years of this material world, a Manavantar consists of 30,67,20,000 years or 8,52,000 years of the deities. A Brahma's day consists of 4,29,40,000 years of this world or 1,19,28,000 years of the deities. The dissolution, which occurs at the end of the day of Brahma, is also known as causal dissolution, namitic pralaya. During the time of causal dissolution, all the residents of Bhur, Bhuva and Swarga lokas temporarily go to Mahaloka. The residents of Mahaloka shift their base to Jana Loka. The entire universe is submerged in the ocean during the time of causal dissolution, and this is the time for Brahma to take rest, that is at night. Brahma starts his creation at the end of the night. This way, after the completion of 360 years of Brahma, his 1 year is complete. 100 such years of Brahma make 1 para, and 500 such years make 1 paradha. 1 paradha of Brahma has already passed, at the end of which Padram Mahakalpa occurred. The present period, which falls under the second paradha, is also known as Varahakalpa. Natural and flawed creations. Kraustuki asked curiously, "Tell me how Brahma did his creations?" Markandeya replied, "When Brahma got up from his sleep after the end of dissolution, pralaya, named Padram, he found a void all around himself. He remembered Narayana, who is also known by the name of Nastani, that is one who dwells in water. Narayana was engrossed in his eternal sleep. After waking up, he rescued the earth, submerged in the ocean just like he had done in the previous kalpas by taking the forms of a boar, a fish and tortoise etc. But even after the earth was brought up from the seabed and was established above the ocean, it was still swinging like a boat. Narayana then created the mountains to stop the earth from swinging. But the mountains were burned down by Agni, fire, named Samvartak. The mountains submerged into the ocean. The mountains, after having displaced the water, had become fixed at their respective places. Therefore, Narayana divided the whole earth into 7 islands and created the 4 lokas just like before. After that, 5 avadhuras came into being. This way, the whole creation established themselves in 5 ways. The whole creation was hidden in darkness till this period. After this, Narayana created the ignorant animals, which symbolize the tamas guna. After the animals, the deities who symbolized the sattva guna were created. Brahma was extremely satisfied by the creations of Narayana. But he was desirous of creating even more superior creatures. As a result, the group of sadhakas named Avagsrota came into being. These sadhakas were humans who possessed Rajasguna. The 5th creation of Anugraha was itself subdivided into 4 parts, Vipariyaya, Siddhi, Shanti, and Srishti. The sixth creation was of those special people who had the knowledge of past and present events. These people had wives, enjoyed life in a balanced way but were of evil nature. These people were known as Butadic. Their first creation was related with the manifestation of Lord Brahma himself. This great creation was known as the Mahasrishti. The second creation related with the part of Brahma is called Bhusaga. The third creation is called Prakrit, and which consists of creatures possessing intelligence and flawed sensual perceptions. The fourth creation consists of the sthawas who are unable to move, for example vegetation. The fifth creation consists of four-footed animals. The sixth creation consists of the deities, whereas the seventh creation that of human beings which originates from Avagzrota. The eighth creation is known as Anugraha. The ninth creation of Brahma is known as Prakrit, natural, and Vikari, flawed. These are the 9 types of creation of Brahma. The root causes of this universe are Prakrit and Vikari. Creation of the deities. Kraustuki then asked Markandeya about the origin of the deities. Markandeya replied, with the objective of creating the deities, demons, ancestors and human beings, Brahma abandoned the part of his physical body in the ocean. The demons originated from the thighs of his abandoned body. Lord Brahma blessed the demons with physical bodies, which were tamasic in nature. This part of Brahma's body became famous as Ratri, night. After that Brahma created the deities from his mouth with the help of Sattvaguna. The deities were given pure bodies. This part of Brahma's body, which was sattvic, pure, in nature, became famous as day. After this, Brahma acquired another physical body and created the ancestors. After creating the ancestors, he abandoned his body, which transformed itself in the evening. Brahma then acquired another body, which was affluent of Raja's qualities, and thus was created human being. He again abandoned his body, and from it was created Jyotsna, the transition period of day and night. Jyotsna, evening and day, contain the quality of sattva in themselves. Night has the quality of tamas in itself. The deities, demons and human beings, are most powerful during the day, night and Jyotsna period respectively. The ancestors are most powerful and invincible during the evening time. Brahma then created creatures who had moustaches and beard on their face. Some creatures among them started attacking the others. Those who were being attacked and pleaded "Save us" were called the Rakshasas, demons. The attackers who thundered "We would devour you up" were known as Yakshas, celestial beings. Brahma was very displeased by their tantrums. Some of his hair fell down on earth, and thus were created the snakes. The flesh-eating Ganas were next to be created. These Ganas were extremely volatile in nature. After that, Brahma created the Gandharvas. This way, after having created these 8 types of divine creation, Brahma created all the animals and birds from his body. He created the goat from his mouth, lamb from his heart, cow from his stomach and back. Animals like horse, elephant, donkey, rabbit, deer, camel and mule were created by Brahma from both his legs. A variety of vegetation and medicinal plants were created from the hair of his body. Brahma then created the following things from the first of his 4 mouths: Gayatri, Tririg, Trivrit, Sam, Rathantar, and Aganishtam. From his mouth facing south, he created Yaju, Trishtamchand, Panchadishastam, Vrahatsam and Yuktha. From his mouth facing west, he created Sham, Jagatachand, Panchadishastam, Vairup and Atritra. From his mouth facing north, he created 21 Athava, Aptoriam, Anushtupa, and Vairaj. In the beginning of Kalpa, Brahma created the natural things like lightning, Vajra, cloud, rainbow and birds. After that he created the deities etc. He then created stable things like mountains, living creatures that could move, demons, birds, animals and snakes etc. All these living creatures take birth and rebirths, reap the fruits of the past karmas done in their previous life. This is the way Brahma had done creation at the end of the dissolution period. Copulative creations. Markandeya says, Brahma created 1,000 couples from his mouth in the beginning of creation. These couples were radiant and possessed virtuous qualities, sattvic. Once again, Brahma created 1,000 couples from his chest, but this time they possessed the quality of rajas. This phenomenon was repeated for the second time, and once again 1,000 couples manifested themselves from his chest. These couples were both rajas as well as tamasic by nature. At last Brahma created 1,000 more couples from both his legs. These couples were completely tamasic by nature. The couples started copulating, and this process has been continuing since then. Brahma now became worried as to how to accommodate such a large number of people. Initially, these people used to roam about everywhere, as there were no permanent residences to accommodate them. At the arrival of Treta Yuga, they developed attachment and started living in houses. Subsequently they started living in various types of abodes: Ura, village, Dronimaka, Shanagar, Kavitak, Drami, Gram and Sanghosh etc. Daksha's lineage. Markandeya says, Brahma, on seeing that in spite of all his creations the population was not increasing, he decided to create his Manasputras. These Manasputras were created merely by his wish. Their names were Bhrigu, Pulastya, Pulaha, Kratu, Angira, Marichi, Daksha, Atri, and Vashishta. After this, he first created the ferocious Rudra and then Sankalpa and Dharma. But all these people were very virtuous, knowledgeable and unaffected by worldly desires. They showed their disinclination towards the purpose for which they have been created by Brahma, that is, increasing the population. Brahma became very furious in his anger and created an entity whose half portion resembled a man's body while the remaining half resembled that of a woman. Brahma instructed that entity to bisect his body into two distinct forms of a man and a woman. The entity followed Brahma's instruction, and this way Swayambhu Manu and Shatrupa came into being. Manu accepted Shatrupa as his wife. 2 sons were born to them, Priyavaratu and Uttanpada. Apart from these 2 sons, 2 daughters were also born to them, Akuti and Prasuti. Prasuti was married to Daksha while Akuti was married to Ruchi. 24 daughters were born to Daksha and Prasuti, out of which 13 of them were married to Dharma. The remaining 11 daughters were married to sages like Bhrigu, Mahadeva, Marichi, Angira, Atri etc. Dharma fathered Kama from Shraddha. Sri gave birth to Darpa, Driti, and Nama. Tushti gave birth to Santosh, Pushti to Loba, Meda to Shrit, Kriya to Dand, Buddhi to Bod, Laja to Vinay, Vipra to Vyavas, Shanti to Kshima, Siddhi to Suk, and Kirti gave birth to Yash. Kama, the son of Dharma, was the father of Atihishta. Himsa, the wife of Adama, gave birth to Anrita. Anrita was married to Niriti. 2 sons named Narak and Baya and 2 daughters named Maya and Vedana were born to them. Maya gave birth to Mritu, whereas Dukha was born as a result of Narak's marriage with Vedana. 5 children were born to Mritu: Vayadi, Chara, Shoka, Trishana, and Krodha. All of them were very irreligious by nature, and they never got an opportunity to get married and have progenies. Mritu's wife, Niriti, is also known by the name of Alakshmi. Altogether 14 sons were born to them. All these 14 sons of Mritu dwell in the organs of human beings, during the time of destruction. Out of these 14 sons, 10 dwell in the sense organs of human beings and the 11th son dwells in the mind. They influence the sense organs and the mind of a man in a negative way by means of attachment and anger. The 12th son exists in the form of arrogance. The 13th son Apar adversely affects the intelligence of a man. The 14th son, Dasa, resides in the house of males. Dasa is naked, always hungry, his mouth facing downwards and caws like the crow. Descendants of Dasa. Markandeya says, Nirmashti, the wife of Dasa, was the daughter of Yama. Altogether 16 children were born to Dasa and Nirmashti. Out of them 8 were sons and the remaining 8 were daughters. The name of the sons were Dantakrishti, Tathokti, Parivata, Angadruka, Shakyuni, Ganda, Pranrati, Garbaha and Sasyaha, while the names of the daughters were Nujaka, Virodini, Swamaharini, Brahmani, Richuharuka, Smritihara, Bijara, and Vidvashini. Dantakrishti causes the teeth of the child to make a grinding sound. Tathokti is commonly used while men are conversing by saying, "So be it." Tathastu. Parivata becomes happy by establishing an alien fetus in the womb of women. Angadruka causes the organs of human beings to throb and enables him to express the emotions of joy and sorrow. Shakyuni resides in the bodies of birds like crow and animals like dog or fox. Ganda destroys all the virtues. Garbaha destroys the fetus in the womb of a woman, while Sasyaha destroys all kinds of wealth. Among the daughters, Nujaka encourages a man to have illicit relationship and also to steal the wealth of others. Virodini causes differences between husband and wife and also among the family members. Swamaharini destroys the prosperity of a man. Brahmani causes restlessness and anger in the heart of a man living at one place for a long time. Richuharuka destroys the menstrual cycle of women. Smritiharuka causes loss of memory. Bijara destroys the sexual powers of a man and woman. Dwashini causes jealousy in the heart of a man and woman. Altogether 38 children were born to all the 16 children of Dasa and Nirmashti. All of them were wicked and caused miseries to people. The creation of Rudras. Markandeya says, "Now I am going to tell you about Rudra Saga." One of the 8 sons of Brahma started wailing after being created from his, Brahma, body. Brahma asked him as to why he was crying. The crying child requested Brahma to give him a name. Brahma named him as Rudra since he was wailing at the time of his birth. But even after getting his name, the child's wailing did not stop. He wailed for 7 times and as a result 7 more children were manifested from his cries. Brahma named these 7 children as Bhava, Shava, Ishan, Pashupati, Bhim, Ugra, and Mahadeva. He also gave them abodes so that they could live. The following 8 things respectively symbolize the forms of all these 8 Rudras: sun, water, earth, fire, air, sky, Dikshit, Brahmin and Soma. All these 8 Rudras were also given their respective wives who were Shuvakala, Ama, Vaikshi, Swada, Swaha, Dik, Dikshur, and Rohini. The 8 sons of all the 8 Rudras are Shaneshwar, Shukra, Lohatang, Manajaf, Skand, Sag, Santan and Bud respectively. Rudra had accepted Sati as his wife. Sati gave up her life because her father Dakshur had shown disrespect to her husband, Rudra. Sati took her second birth as Parvati, the daughter of Himavan. Mainak was her brother. Bhava married Parvati. Kati was Bhrigu's wife. They had 2 children, Dhatu and Vata. Lakshmi was the consort of Narayana. Mayu had 2 daughters, Ayati and Nati. Both of them were married to Dhatu and Vata respectively. Each one of them had 2 sons. Ayati had named her son as Pran, while Nati named her son as Markandeya. The same Markandeya is my, Markandeya, father. My mother's name is Manaswini and my son's name is Vedashira. Sambhuti, the wife of Marichi, gave birth to Purnas. Smriti, the wife of Marichi, gave birth to 4 daughters, Sinuli, Kyu, Raka, and Anumati. Ansuya, the wife of Sajatri, gave birth to 3 sons, Soma, Duvasa, and Dattatreya. Dut and Damhali were born to Preti, the wife of Pulastya. He became famous as Agastya during the time of Swayambhuva. 3 sons, Kardam, Avavra and Sahishu, were born to Kshama, the wife of Pulaha. Sanati, the wife of Rita, gave birth to 60,000 Borkaliyaganas. Urja, the wife of Vashishta, gave birth to 7 sons, Raja, Gatra, Urdhvabayu, Sable, Anna, Sutapa, and Shukra. These 7 are famous as the Saptarishis. Agni was married to Swaha. 3 sons were born to them, Pavak, Pavmana, and Shuchi. The various Manvantas. Swayambhuva Manvanta. Markandeya says, Swayambhuva Manu had 10 sons. He had divided the whole earth into 7 continents. In the beginning of Treta Yuga, the sons of Prayavrata had done the same. Prajavati. The daughter of Kardam Prajapati had 10 sons and 2 daughters from Prayavrata. Names of these 10 sons were, Agnina, Meditithi, Vayushman, Jyotishman, Dyutaman, Bhaitya, Savan, Meda, Agnabayu, and Mitra. Among all these 10 sons, the last 3 never ruled any kingdom. The remaining 7 sons were made the rulers of all the 7 continents by Prayavrata. Agnina was made the ruler of Jambudweep, Meditithi that of Plakshadweep. Vayushman was given Shalmalidweep, whereas Jyotishman was made the ruler of Kushtweep. Similarly, Dyutaman was given Kraunchadweep to rule, while Bhaitya was given Shakdweep. The 7th son, Savan, was made the ruler of Pushkardweep. Savan had 2 sons, Medhavi and Artaki. Savan subdivided the Pushkardweep into 2 parts, and each part was given to each of the sons. Bhaitya had 7 sons, Jalad, Kima, Sakama, Manavak, Kushota, Medhavi, and Mahadram. Bhaitya too subdivided the Shakdweep into 7 parts and distributed them among all his sons. Similarly, Dyutaman too had 7 sons to whom were distributed his kingdom Kraunchadweep after subdividing it into 7 parts. Jyotishman, Vayushman and the Meditithi made their respective sons the rulers after giving them kingdoms. Agnina was the ruler of Jambudweep. He had 9 sons. His kingdom was equally distributed among all of them. Nabi, the son of Agnina, was the father of Rishab. Bharata was the son of Rishab. Bharata was given the southern part of Rishab's kingdom. Our country is named after Bharata.